Retirement planning, unfortunately, is not taken very seriously. I think people still believe that their children will take care of their retirement planning, but unfortunately, we are westernizing at a pace much faster than we really realize. And especially in India, the government does not give you social security, so you don't get your medicals or your pension taken care of once you retire. So it is you who will have to make sure that you plan for your retirement. Now, unfortunately, what happens is when you start making monies at 22 to 25 and you can make monies up to 60, in the same period, you will have to make sure that you plan for your period between 60 to 90, where your active income is going to stop. So you have very little time, but the plan that you need to make is much larger, and hence, if you've not planned for your retirement, this is the time. Now, unfortunately, some of you all will believe that you make only 20,000 a month or 50,000 a month or a lakh of rupee a month. Do you really need a financial plan? Or can you actually make a plan for yourself? For all of you all, irrespective of your age, the income that you have, the expenses that you have, this is the video for you. I'm going to help you understand everything that you would actually get as a service when you hire a financial planner to do your retirement planning in this video, absolutely free. So watch till the end and you will be able to create a very sophisticated retirement plan for yourself. Okay, so let's take a case for me to be able to help you understand how retirement planning is done. Of course, like I said, I will give you access to this tool so you can customize it and personalize it for yourself. But for the sake of the video, I'll have to take some numbers, right? So I'm going to take some numbers to show you how to do it, but please make sure you change these numbers to suit yourself. So we'll talk about somebody who's, let's say, 35 years old. So in this you enter 35 in your current age. Retirement will depend on who you are, but let's say traditionally in India people retire at 60, so I'm writing 60. The third row is slightly tricky because you will have to decide how long do you want to plan for your retirement or how long are you going to live. Now I'm sure most people will not know the answer to this question, but let's say 85 is a good number to look at. So I'm talking about somebody who's 35 years old, is going to retire at 60 and is looking to survive up to 85. Now if you have to plan for this individual in terms of retirement, the first question that this individual really needs to answer is, how much is the monthly expense of this individual today, excluding EMIs? So let's say if that number is 50,000. First, why is it important for you to understand that this number of 50,000 is excluding EMIs? Excluding EMIs because when you do retirement planning, the assumption is that when you retire, your expenses on EMIs will be taken care of. You will not get into retirement where your active income stops and your EMIs are still running. So EMI may be an expense today, but I'm hoping that it will not be an expense when you retire. So only talk about your expense excluding EMIs. Let's say that number is 50,000. But that 50,000 of expense is today. If you are going to retire after 25 years from today, your expense is going to be much higher than 50,000 because of inflation. Let's assume what that number can be. I've taken the inflation number to be 6%, which I think is fair. Because over the next 25 years or 20 years, interest rates and inflation in India will drop. So a 6% inflation number, in my opinion, seems to be a fair number as an average for the next 20-25 years. Of course, it may be slightly on a higher side, but it's always good to keep it on a higher side so that you are planning for worst and not for good. So if you are talking about somebody who's got 50,000 of expense today, this 50,000 of expense at 6% inflation is going to become 2,15,000 rupees each month after retirement. So the point that we are trying to make is that you will need 2,15,000 rupees each month after your retirement plus inflation. So in the first year after retirement, you will need 2,15,000. In the second year after retirement, you will need 2,15,000 plus 6% inflation, so on and so forth up to 85 years. Now where are you going to receive this 2,15,000 each month from the age 60 to 85? For that, you will need to have accumulated a large corpus when you retire at 60. And the tool has automatically calculated that for you. That number is 5 crore 12 lakh rupees, which means if you have 5 crore 12 lakh rupees when you retire at 60, you will receive 2,15,000 every month in the first year, plus 6% till you are 85. Now, how is this 5 crore 12 lakh calculated? It's calculated only at 2% for two reasons. Reason number one, interest rates in the future are going to be much lower than they are today. And second, very importantly, I've calculated it at only 2% to adjust for inflation, which means 2,15,000 is the requirement in the first month of the first year. But in the next year, you will need 6% more. So I kept the interest rate lower to adjust for that inflation. So just to reiterate pretty quickly, we are saying somebody who's got 25 years to retirement and has 25 years of plan to make after retirement and has 50,000 of living expenses will actually require 2,15,000 every month after retirement. And for that, this individual will need 5 crore 12 lakh rupees at retirement. Now, because of a lot of retirement plans that I generally make, I know that a lot of investors come back to us saying that they want to leave some estate behind for their kids, which means that when they are no longer there, their kids should be able to receive something, and that is how they want to plan. If you are somebody who thinks similarly, then all you have to do is in this particular row, which says want to leave any estate, just add a number that you want to leave for your family or your kids. Let's say that number is 5 crore. As soon as you mention that you want to leave 5 crore rupees for your kids, you will see that the 5 crore 12 lakh number that we originally had has moved up to 8 crore 17 lakhs, which means when you die at 85, let's say, you want to leave 5 crore rupees for your kids, then for that at 60, you will need 8 crore 17 lakhs and not 5 crore 12 lakhs that we spoke about in the past. Now, this number can be whatever, can be 2 crore, 1 crore, 10 crore, 15 crore, depending on what your requirement is. You put that number, but I don't think we should leave anything for the kids, so I'm going to keep that as 0. So let's say the estate that I want to keep for my kid is 0. But a lot of y'all who are probably, let's say, 35 years old would have already saved some money towards your retirement goal, knowingly or unknowingly. What do I mean when I say knowingly? Knowingly, you would have done some SIPs, some mutual fund investments. Unknowingly, if you are salaried, you have an EPS that gets deducted, you have a gratuity that will come to you, you have leave encashments that will come to you. All of this is most probably your retirement kitty. So, if you need 5 crore 12 lakh rupees and you already have some investments which are aligned towards this goal, numbers may change. Let's look, what do I mean? So, let's say if I'm saying that I already have an existing investment of 15 lakh rupees that I've done, and you will have to calculate how much EPF, gratuity, leave encashment, NPS you are expecting when you retire at 60. I don't know what that number can be in your case, but mathematically, let's say that number is 50 lakhs. So we are saying that if 50 lakhs is what you are going to receive as gratuity, leave encashment, NPS when you retire at 60, you already have 15 lakh rupees that you've accumulated towards this goal. And the math that we need to do is at 10%. Why am I writing this 10%? So if you have 15 lakh rupees which you've accumulated towards this goal already, and if you are going to roughly receive, let's say, 50 lakh rupees in your retirement kitty from your EPS and NPS and all of that, and I assume that the return that we will make on the investment of 15 lakh rupees that we have towards this goal is 10%, then you will need to do an SIP of 21,075 rupees, which means 50,000 of expense today will become 2,15,000 of expense when you retire. If you need 2,15,000 of expense, you will need 5 crore 12 lakh rupees when you retire. And if you need 5 crore 12 lakh rupees when you retire, and you already have 15 lakh rupees accumulated towards this goal and 50 lakh expected, and the return is 10%, you will need to do an additional SIP of 21,000. You all keep asking me how to actually invest in mutual funds, which fund is right, when to start, how much to invest, where to invest, and all of this for long-term investing. Now that's exactly why I have created a 7-hour long video on how to select the right equity mutual funds, where I'm going to share with you all some practical insights and framework that I personally use for investments. From goal-based investing to understanding the risk profiling, asset allocation, even macros that affect your risk and return, everything is covered step by step. So if you genuinely want to understand investing in a structured, practical way, you can enroll for this program through the link in the description or the pinned comment. So now let's say at 35 you start a 21,000 rupee SIP, so that at 60 you end up making the 5 crore 12 lakh rupee of requirement of yours for retirement. But the most important point that a lot of people don't know, don't understand, don't talk about, or are not typically helped with is that once you accumulate this 5 crore 12 lakh rupees when you retire, okay, how do you invest this to make sure that it lasts you for as long as you require? Now here we've only planned up to 85, right? Which means this 5 crore 12 lakh rupees of corpus will last only up to 85 is what we've done as math. But I'm going to show you a brilliant bucketing strategy now to invest this 5 crore 12 lakh rupees in a way that it will last you for as long as you live. And you will be able to live an estate for your kids as well. Now what is this bucketing strategy? Imagine buckets. So you have 5 crore 12 lakh rupees. There are 3 buckets, 1, 2 and 3. The first bucket is actually your liquidity bucket. The second bucket is your income bucket. And the third bucket is your wealth bucket. So imagine that the 5 crore 12 lakh rupees that you have, from that you remove 3 years of living expense and put in bucket 1, which is going to invest your money in arbitrage funds. Now what are we saying? Our expense is going to be 2,15,000 rupees. So if I multiply 2,15,000 into 36 months, I will roughly get 77 lakh rupees, which is already calculated here in the tool. So from 5 crore 12 lakh rupees, remove 77 lakhs and put in bucket 1 and invest that money in arbitrage funds. And from that arbitrage fund, you keep removing 2,15,000 for the first 12 months, then plus 6% for the next 12 months, plus 6% for the third year. Now you will say we've only done 2,15,000 into 36 months. How will it take care of inflation? It will, because the 77 lakhs that you will invest in arbitrage fund, that will also make you 5-6% returns. So for 3 years of your living expenses are going to be taken care of by this 77 lakh rupees that you've removed from your 5 crore 12 lakh rupees of corpus. Now a lot of you all may not be able to relate to this because traditionally we as Indians don't invest like this. What we do is invest this 5 crore 12 lakh rupees in a fixed deposit and live on the interest that we make on it. But in most cases you will realize in practical world, and because I've done a lot of these plans in the past, that the money that you will be able to accumulate at retirement, when you invest that in an FD or a sort product, post-tax the money that you get will not be able to suffice to your requirement, and hence this strategy is extremely important. So 3 years of living expense in an arbitrage fund, you remove money every month and consume the entire 77 lakhs for 3 years. Stage 2, bucket 3. Remove 20% of whatever you've accumulated. So in our case, the 5 crore 12 lakhs that we've accumulated, we will remove 20% of that, which is 1 crore 2 lakhs. It's already calculated here. You remove that and invest that in equity funds, which is your wealth bucket. So your first bucket is taken care of, arbitrage. Third bucket is taken care of, which is your wealth bucket. Now your second bucket is the bucket that will give you the cash flows that you want. Whatever amount of money remains after 1 crore 2 lakhs invested in wealth and 77 lakhs invested in arbitrage, whatever remains is what you put in bucket 2, which is your 3 crore 32 lakhs. Now this 3 crore 32 lakhs is invested in hybrid mutual funds in a way that when I invest 3 crore 32 lakhs in a hybrid mutual funds and I make only 2%, you remember we did all the calculations at 2% post retirement. I only make 2%, okay, I will still be able to receive 2 crore 15 lakhs. Sorry, I will still be able to receive 2,15,000 rupees every month for another 15 years almost. Okay, so if it's getting complicated, let me just help you understand that again. 3 years of living expense from arbitrage, 15 years of living expenses of 2,15,000 plus inflation from bucket 2, where you invested 3 crore 32 lakhs. Now mind you, you are using both of this money completely. At the end of the 15th year, this arbitrage money is also gone and your SWP of hybrid is also gone. What remains with you at the end of the 15th year is only your wealth bucket. The bucket in which you invested 1 crore 2 lakh rupees. But if this 1 crore 2 lakh rupees makes you 10%, at which we've done all the calculation, at the end of the 15th year, you will have 5 crore 60 lakh rupees in your third bucket, which is your equity bucket. Now imagine at the end of the 15th year, you are back to square one where you started. You started your retirement at 5 crore. At the end of the 15th year, you lived your life the way you want without compromising on anything, and at the end of the 15th year, you yet still have 5 crore 60 lakh rupees to repeat this entire process. If you just keep doing this, you will never run out of money. This is the beauty of the bucket strategy. So if you put your money in a fixed deposit or a senior citizen savings scheme and try to live off the interest, you will somewhere end up compromising because you will never have enough money to be able to take care of your standard of living. And which is why the most sophisticated professionals in this industry, when have to make a retirement plan or suggest a client, will use a bucketing strategy so that you can outlive the money that you've made without even compromising on your standard of living. You will need this Excel while you are trying to do this for yourself, and a link in the description will give you access to this. You will be able to move all the numbers that you want to move to suit to your requirement, but try and make sure that you don't edit anything which is there in yellow, because everything in yellow has a formula that you don't want to change. You will only change the data which is not in yellow to suit your requirement so that it gives you a retirement plan that is exactly customized for you the way a sophisticated investor would have done by paying fees to a retirement planner. I'm hoping that each one of you will end up taking a lot back from this video that we made on retirement plan. I'm sure you might have still some questions. Please feel free to write me in the comment section and I will try and answer most of these questions in the best possible manner that I can.